What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Dustin here, back with another video. I just wanted to do a kind of like an update vlog style video today and take a break from the Keys to Happiness series and all that life talk. But listen, I think that I was doing some thinking this morning. I really do think that if all of us can kind of come together and admit that we're all struggling in some way, shape, or form, and we're kind of in this together versus the every man for himself thought concept, then I think we're all going to be okay. Because when you really put the numbers down on paper, when you really set the numbers on paper, you're like, well, maybe it isn't so bad. Maybe I'm not in such a bad spot. Maybe it's just the fact that the world is in general in a tough spot, or so it feels. And then on top of that, we're all dealing with our own stuff, which a lot of times is clutter. It is not good stuff that we're dealing with. So it's always something, right? Okay. So I just think that that's a great mentality. And I think that if we could just hone that in and admit it, we really can, we go places in our life, and yeah. So first things first, I wanted to shout out to you all and thank you for being here. Like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. I have to go do some work in a bit, so I need to get on the road to do that. But I'm finally at that place in my life where I'm like, okay, there's all these things I want to do, all these things I wanted to accomplish this week. And I'm like we need to get to the point where we're like, if we're trying the best we absolutely can, and there's like no time, there's no money, there's no whatever, like we're trying our hardest, guys, that is good enough. Like that should be rewarded, by simply the fact that, we're just enjoying our time, enjoying our day. I have the privilege, what I now see as a privilege now, because we live in the U.S. We have these privileges that are given to us, these freedoms we have. I now see that this quiet time in the morning where I could just sit and relax, I see it as a privilege. Like I'm very honored. I took it for granted. I feel like I was always, and I was always trying to run away from the noise. You know what I mean? That was something that I had always been trying to do. And I need to explain to the people who love me most that that was something that I was dealing with at that time. And I still deal with it. I do want the peace. I do want the benefit of the doubt that things are going to be okay, that I'm not going to be bothered, or like to the extent of like bombarded with like problems and other people's, whatever else. But you get it, we all need that time. So, but if we can come together and really just be honest with ourselves about what we need, we're going to be fine. I honestly, I did like 2 or 3 simple things this morning and I already feel incredible. I feel like even though I'm not where I want to be in life and I have all these goals I want to meet and I have these dreams and this and that, I feel like because we're in this glass half full mentality on this series, this channel, we're looking at life for its benefits, not for its downfalls. I feel like I've accomplished so much this morning, and it's just been really a blessing. It's been really great. So it's like a breath of fresh air, and we're slowly just living our lives and being just blessed for what we have. Like I'm at that point where like I've been in spots in my life where I don't need anything to be happy, or I need very little, and I'm kind of like there again, and I'm so proud of myself for getting back to that point where it's like, yes, either hang on to the things you have, allow the bare bones to be good enough, sometimes, not to the extent of like bar setting in your life. The bars you set, the goals you meet, obviously you don't want to meet the bare minimum goals, but if the bare minimum is okay, you're in the sense that you're happy with a little bit, that's great. So I just think that I want to encourage you all to have that mentality more. It's really going to be a blessing. Like these winter months, I get it. Coming up in the future here, when we get into fall and winter, you know, you're really going to start to appreciate all that you have, and you're going to like time's going to kind of slow down, and the weather's going to get bad, and you're going to be like, well, like time's going to be different too. In the fall we set our clocks back, and listen, y'all, it's going to be rewarding, it's going to be a blessing, but there's going to be some quiet time where you're really going to have to, instead of being depressed and whatever, like, I get it. You can listen to that music that you need to listen to get it through it. I do the same thing, you know. But this is like the first year in a long time where I'm like, yes, like you know, I'm spending every moment, I've told myself, I'm spending every moment of my downtime. I'm always on something, always trying to meet a goal, always trying to do this, always trying to fuel my happiness, always trying to make myself happy with something. And the best part about that is it's always something small and super obtainable. Why do we have to set goals for these crazy these crazy ambitions in life? Like, why does it have to be an enormous house? Why does it have to be the most expensive car? I don't understand. Like, those are big goals. Yeah. And, career wise, whatever your dream is, whatever you want to do. But at the same time, what if you could do everything you want to do in life the way you want to do it, when you want to do it? You have freedom. Freedom is priceless. So I'm just blessed. I'm grateful. I'm at the point where I'm like, no matter what happens, I'm like, I'm so blessed that I can live in the moment. So with that, I wanted to pass some gems onto y'all and just, really understand. I brought something up a little while ago on one of the other past videos, and it goes a little something like this. It's from an old philosopher or scholar or whatever, not from the Bible or anything like that, but it says, grant me the knowledge. I'm trying to remember how it goes. Yes. Grant me the knowledge to focus on, or not, to not worry about the things that I can't change. And grant me the ability and the blessing to be able to focus on the things that I can change. And all in all, to wrap the saying up, it goes, bless me with the ability to decipher between the two, the things you can and can't change. That is like the most incredible saying I think I've heard in a long time. Let me give you the secret. Okay, you want the keys to happiness secret? You want the life update today, guys? Let's do it. Let's get into it. It's real simple. Stop worrying about the things you can't change. Who's going to take care of that? The higher power is. God is. Whatever you believe in. You fill in the blank. Okay? Everything else is going to work out. Just focus on the things you can change. And before you know it, focus on the things you have control over, And everything else that you don't have control over, forget about it. Because what are you going to do? Sit there and be depressed about it? It's not going to change. You're going to tear yourself apart. And shout out to my buddy Ed, because he told me this too. As you get older, he says, He says, Dustin, man, you got to worry. You got to, you got to pay attention to that stress level, man. Like when you get older, when you hit that age, like 50 plus, I'm talking, and you start really stressing, like a super unhealthy amount of stress. I'm talking super unhealthy. He's like, it takes a toll on your body, man. Like it takes a toll on you. It takes a toll on your mental. Like it's not good. So we have to be optimistic now while we're young, while we're at, you know, while we're at the peak of our seniority even. We have to do it. Do you know what I mean? Because at that point, we're going to have the maximum amount of resources. And it's going to be important. It's going to be crucial. Everything you've invested into your life will then be what fuels the rest of your life. And that includes your mindset. Shout out to my folks here at 7-Eleven. I just got on. Well, we have two. I have both. I have the Gold Pass and the Sparkle Pass. So if you get the Sparkle Pass, it's like 20 something odd dollars a month. It's like $24 a month, and you get one free car wash every day. And then you get a free soda. And then with the Gold Pass, I think you get 5 free sodas a month, and then you get all these like discounted items. And we go on the app and we order in, like we get free delivery to our house and all this stuff. It's awesome. We love it. So I think that, I recommend it for you guys, because like for years I was buying like the single drinks, like the ones in the cans and stuff. And it's like, it's so expensive. Like I carry water. People don't know this, but I drink lots of water. Like I have a huge thing of water right here that I drink, and it's a blessing. I love water, especially flavored water without the sugar in it and all. But I actually got something like a soda with sugar in it today because it's going to help me get through the day. But yeah, folks, you know, your vision for your life is going to come true. I just know it is. Okay, don't worry about all the extra stuff that you can't control. Just focus on today, the here, the now. So, yeah, I mean, we have to learn to adapt. We have to adapt. Things are going to change, in our lives and on this planet, on this earth. They've already changed dramatically. I am shocked, like since COVID, how much has changed out here. It's like coming from somebody who was so involved with technology growing up like later in years, you know, in my later years, like I feel like my teenage years to like the 30s. Yeah, but I don't know. There's so much technology nowadays. There's so much AI, and I would encourage you all, if you have a question about something, um ask Chat GPT. Do yourself a favor. That is a great tool. It's basically like the new calculator. What a calculator can do with numbers, Chat GPT can do with pretty much everything that you throw at it. And I think AI is great. We have AI in our car because now we have Siri. And then there's a new update where it says, would you like to ask ChatGPT? And you say yes. And you press a button on the steering wheel and it does all this stuff for you. So through word of mouth, through voice, that's how you can obtain information. And I think that's crucial that we use that technology. Anyways, that's the life update. I ain't got too much going on. Set small, obtainable goals. I had set a small goal this past week. It was actually a little bit higher. The goal that I set was a little bit higher than it was something I wanted to achieve. But I'm like, look, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to get this fixed. And it was something stupid, right? It was like, okay, I wanted to get my truck fixed and I'm like trying to find parts, but I'm trying to like save money. I'm not trying to do this like the hard way like I did in the past and, spend all this money that I don't need to be spending. I'm trying to utilize like resources, like call around, ask around, like, okay, who's got the best deal? And I'm like, I'm honestly like all about, you know, the idea of doing aftermarket on it because I've already done a few aftermarket parts that are fitting it. And it's like, but it's not something I use every day. So, I was being so hard on myself that I didn't achieve it this week. And, I wanted to try and see myself get some parts and this and that. But I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to continue to like stress myself out over it and we'll just see what happens. But I love you guys so much. I'll see you on the next video. Um, Remember, set small goals you can obtain, things that you can keep with you on a daily basis that are achievable. And it'll make you feel better about yourself because you'll slowly work your way up to meeting these higher goals. You're already making a little bit of progress on those higher goals every day that you're here putting in the work, but eventually you're gonna climax to the very top of your game, and it's gonna be game changing for you. I think I'm in that kind of like I'm treading the water, phase, like getting my strength back up, seeing what I can endure, and I'm like, okay, now, I'm literally only focusing on like everything that's positive, and I'm paying attention to how I respond to people, what kind of energy I'm putting out. That's crucial. You know what I mean? And a lot of people want you to be quiet. They want to silence you. Silence is like speaking is frowned upon, I feel like nowadays. So I don't know. Don't go out quiet. Not completely. If you have to do it, you have to do it. Your job, I understand. But make sure you're pushing as hard as you can. And I think the right people will appreciate you. I know that for a fact. Um, but yeah, so look, I set a small goal for myself. I meet it and have things that you can carry with you. If you want tangible things in the moment, that's okay. Make sure there's small things that are pretty obtainable price wise and maybe carry them with you. I don't want you to lean on things to be your security. They're certainly not my security. If anything, I have a fear of losing everything. That was like a fear back then. And it still is a fear now, but I think I'm moving past that fear. And, it was just like that anxiety of like, like the world's in shambles. I don't want to lose everything. So things are tough, right? But we're going to get through it. You know, if you need a cup of coffee to get through your day and it's only like $3 or $4, like go for it. You only live once. This is your life. This is your time to shine. Um, just be frugal with your time, the people you devote your time into and with, and make sure you're uplifting each other. We are going to do a series on this channel. I think it's going to be the next phase in my life, but as I see things are getting better, and I'm not going to stick around forever and wait for things to just like get better. Like it's going to take so long in my life, especially like for things to really take off the way I want to see them take off. And I just can't look at it like that. So I think I need to distract myself with something. And I think I want to start serving the community, getting out there and doing things for people and asking myself how I can help people on a daily basis. Getting out of my comfort zone to help somebody and just really, you know, spending my time wisely, you know, donating my time to others. So I've been getting out there in the community more. We just went to a event for the local community where we live to thank all the men and women who serve our community, the police officers, firefighters, all the clubs were there, a lot of companies, radio stations, clubs, YMCA, stuff like that, and we appreciate all of them because they all run on teams of people. There's these massive amounts of teams of people who put these things on and keep them going. So we appreciate them. And in turn, we give back to our community the best that we can. And it encourages me to want to help people. So, forget like if things are going the way you want them to or not. Just focus on the fact that they're going to get better and you're going to meet all your goals. You're going to be happy. And then you're going to be able to give back. I want to be able to do both. What I don't want to do is be a part of the crowd that is absolutely miserable out of their mind and they're super negative. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to be a part of that. So I love you all so much. I will see you all in the next video. Take care. I hope this was a good vlog update. Maybe had some info in here that's going to be helpful to you guys. I have honestly been working on different stuff lately. I've been driving and doing deliveries. I want to be transparent with you guys on this channel. And I honestly love helping and serving my community, getting people what they need. Some people cannot get out to stores. They can't get food by themselves. They can't shop for groceries. And that's just one of many things that I do for work. But I just love giving back to the community. And I love being able to save money for myself and make extra income. And I want to do this YouTube thing full time at some point, but you all are a blessing, and I'm just so glad you're here and I can talk about life with y'all. I've always had this fire inside me to be somebody who nobody else is, be somebody that only I can be. And you all are the fuel that drives that inspiration and that passion and that goal. And we're going to meet it. One day we're going to be on this channel. We're going to gain enough traction to hopefully be at that point where we can, get some views and subscribers and stuff like that. So I love you guys so much, and you guys are important to me. And I hope you have a great day. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.